Hey, Justin here. The topic for today is virus testing, something which, as your collection grows, at some point you're probably going to reach the point, same as myself, where you notice that some plants are inexplicably not growing well, and you start to suspect the worst, namely that there might be some nasty viruses present in your collection. I had been thinking about this for a while, and eventually I decided to bite the bullet and get some virus testing for my orchids. Not really readily available in the EU, so I had to import a batch of 50 tests from Taiwan. So this is the first results. The focus obviously is on plants that are not looking very well. We can have a look at the test strips there, and basically the one on the left and the one on the right are not virused. So that's the control strip. If I place this, how can I do that? But basically that's the control strip, the top strip, and the two strips below that are virus, indication of virus. So we can see of the 5 plants that I've tested, 3 of them are virused according to this test, which I think it's a pretty good test, so I definitely will be accepting this result. And the next thing to take a look is at the plants, because there might be something there which helps you to diagnose whether you think it's worthwhile to do a virus test, or maybe even just go one step further and just toss the plant out. And this is one of the reasons why I really don't like to keep unhealthy plants in my collection. They're just bad news all around. So let's take a look. This is the first one. It's Cattleya warneri cerulean. It was growing very well, and it started to really struggle. So you can see this marking on the back of the leaf there. So I thought that could be an indication of virus. It did start to, so it's put out this leaf here, which has got these streaks on it. But this plant is not virused, so that just goes to show it's not necessarily an indication of a virus, and it is notoriously difficult to diagnose purely on the basis of visual signals from the plant. It can be other things as well, insects, fungal, bacterial, so there are all sorts of other things, but those things are all not necessarily terminal for the plant, so no need to throw that plant out. This is the next plant which has tested positive. So the second one from the right there, this one has tested positive for Cymbidium mosaic virus. This is also a Cattleya warneri. This is Cattleya warneri Santa Teresa, a really beautiful clone. And there's not that much indication on this one. I was kind of surprised that this one was positive and the one before wasn't. If you look at it, you wouldn't really notice a difference. It's also got some necrotic dark spots on it. The new growth actually looks better than the new growth on the other one, which was not diagnosed as positive. But definitely struggling plant. The growth this year not that well, and the fact that these are both Cattleya warneri, I think no coincidence really. Cattleya warneri is one that probably needs a bit more heat than I've been giving them, especially in the winter. In the greenhouse, it's too cold for them, so this one will be headed to the bin. Yeah, no point to keep that around. And what should I do with this pot? I don't know. Sterilize it somehow, or throw it out as well. I don't know. This is the next one that has the same. virus, Cymbidium mosaic, and this is a hybrid of Dowiana by nodosa. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but yeah, this plant looks pretty healthy, like it's grown a nice big growth here, but I noticed these black splotches here, and that made me suspicious. What's the cause of that? So I decided to give this one a test as well, and this one also positive. So we're on the third one, right? Don't lose track. Yeah, so this is also Cymbidium mosaic virus, so that one also headed to the bin. Oh, I'm going to have some space now. That's great, isn't it? Wow, something to look forward to. You've got to be crazy for this hobby, really, haven't you? Okay, next one, Cattleya aurea, which is Dowiana, in fact. A very special form, this one from Orchids and More. And this one also has tested positive, but this one has tested positive for the Oncidium ring spot virus. So you can see the end there where I took the sample. It's actually growing pretty well, but again, I noticed these spots here on the leaves, and here, these black spots. Yeah, it could be bacterial or something, but made me suspicious, so I decided to test it. This one will also be heading to the bin, so yeah. And this one, the fifth one on the right, this one came up clear, which kind of surprised me, to be honest, but this is a Paphiopedilum philippinensis alba. It flowered actually very nicely, I don't know, 6 months ago maybe. But it was sitting next to another Paphiopedilum which was struggling, and it picked whatever it's got. It seemed to pick up from that one. So you can see those necrotic spots there, and also on the back underneath the leaf, same sort of thing, but this one has tested negative. So this is not a virus. So it just goes to show how difficult it is to tell on the basis of the visual symptoms if it's a virus or not. People saying basically it's impossible to do. So out of the 5 plants that I've tested, 3 positive, and I've got 50 samples. This is quite an expensive operation, looking at around 300 euros for the 50 samples, maybe a little bit less, but yeah, certainly between 5 and 6 euros per plant. But when you get a larger collection, you really don't want viruses running rampant through your collection. Ideally, I would be testing every single plant in the collection, but then I'll be looking at over 1,000 euros to do that. So I'll probably just focus on the plants which are not doing well. So I'm going to continue with the test, but So this is the second set of test results. Only one positive on this one. The second one from the right. And that is a Phalaenopsis, which was kind of, not growing very well. And always had my suspicions about this one. Phalaenopsis speciosa, purple spot from Orchid Garden. I think it was virus from day one, but there's no way you can say that for sure. But it never has grown very well. But another plant which I got in the same hall, which also has never grown very well, another Phalaenopsis, and that one is virus free. So there you go. Right, so I've got another 5 tests here, 3 of which are positive. So the 2 on the left were both clean. That's this Paphiopedilum here. The leaves are a bit kind of floppy. This is species Intaniae, but tested negative, and Phalaenopsis, what is it? It's Ludemaniana. Hasn't grown that well this year, so sort of this coloration on the leaves. I thought it might be an indication of something, but that's come up clean. Now this Phalaenopsis here, which has got the floppy sort of leaves and the very small leaf, so clearly unhappy plant, and that one has a very faint positive test there, but definitely a positive nonetheless for Cymbidium mosaic virus. And this is my Phalaenopsis bellina, which I just showed, I think in the last episode, was blooming, a plant that I've had for about 15 years. And this one also tested positive for Cymbidium mosaic virus, so that will be on the way out. And the last one is this Cattleya whitei, which I really had a strong suspicion that this one is virused. You can see the leaves just generally not looking too happy. This necrotic patches here, and this one is Oncidium ring spot virus, so that could be there an indication of Oncidium ring spot virus, but that plant is clearly virused according to this test. Right, so another set of 5 tests, of which 4 are positive for Oncidium ring spot virus, and these are all Cattleyas. So this Cattleya schilleriana here tested positive, not really any outward signs, mainly just on the basis of lack of vigor did I test that one, turned out to be positive. This one, Cattleya warneri, looks for all the world like it's virused, but turns out that it's not, so must just be some kind of probably insect damage, maybe a bit of bacterial infection as well, but that one came up clean. This one, a hybrid Oncidium ring spot virus, you can see the rings there, so that's pretty clear. Haven't had this one in my collection for that long. I think it was virused from day one, because it kind of looked like this a bit from the start. And this one is Cattleya varshavicii. It was definitely a healthy plant. When I got it, it was growing very well, little seedling. Grew it for several years and it was growing really well, and then in the last year or two sort of stopped growing. It grew first a smaller leaf, and then this year no leaf. So I've long had my suspicions about this one, so not surprised about that. And the last one is, it's a larger plant, and this is a hybrid tenebrosa by schilleriana or something like that. But so you can see the discoloration on the leaf, that can be not necessarily an indication of a virus, but also kind of streaking there. Again, not necessarily indication of a virus, but a pretty good indicator. But the plant's still growing all right, so it's a little bit of a shame. But yeah, so these 4 will all be leaving the collection and heading to the great compost heap in the sky. Right, so the next set of test results, and it's another 3 positives out of 5. So the one on the left there has got the Cymbidium mosaic. Then we've got a clean one next to that, and another clean one next to that. But this one, second from the right, has a very faint stripe there for the Oncidium ring spot virus. And the one at the end has Cymbidium mosaic virus, Oncidium, and yeah, you know what I mean. It's starting to turn into a bit of a long session, so I think my concentration is starting to wander a little bit. But this is the one with the Oncidium ring spot virus, so really clear indication there, even though it's quite a faint result there. The second one from the right, I'm quite convinced that that's a positive. And this one here is a Cattleya purpurata, really big plant, vigorous plant. But just noticed this on the latest growth, and I thought that looks kind of suspicious. So I've tested it and it's positive. So that's a real shame. And this one just flowered, also positive. You can see the discoloration on the leaf. That's the main indication. Also on the pseudobulb, see this split along the pseudobulb here? This could be an indication. This plant, however, came up clean, which is a mystery to me, really. How can that be clean? Look how sick it is. Yeah, I think I might just toss it anyway. So I didn't bother to film the rest of the virus testing. It was taking too long, and I just wanted to get through it all in the end. So in the end I did use all 50 tests, and about half of them were positive. And yeah, so kind of shocking, I suppose. Confirmed what I had long suspected, so I'm glad that I did it. But nonetheless, it is quite confronting when you discover that a lot of your plants are virused. So those plants have all been disposed. But the problem now is that if I look at the plants that were virused, and if I compare them to the ones that weren't virused, it's really difficult to tell if a plant is virused on the basis of how it looks. Almost impossible, at least assuming that the negatives are not false negatives or something like that. But some of the plants, they just look virused and they're not. But according to the test, but other ones didn't look as bad, growing quite vigorously. Some of them just flowered in the last couple of months, and they were positive. So yeah, it's quite shocking, really. And yeah, I think there's a lot of lessons to be learned here. And I still am absorbing and digesting the result and thinking what to do next. But the fact that from 50 tested plants, about half of them were positive. Obviously, they were the 50 most suspicious plants, but today I've been walking through looking at the rest of the collection, and there could just as well be another 20-30 plants infected in there. So what to do? I think there's really no alternative than to test every single plant that looks suspicious. So that will mean buying at least another 100, 150, maybe 200 tests. My collection's about 300 plants in total, so I'm not going to test every single plant. Some plants I'm quite confident that they're virus free, but if there's anything whatsoever suspicious, then I'm going to test it. I think that's the takeaway. And one of the takeaways, and another one is, if you suspect that your plants are virus, maybe don't wait for years as I did before testing them, because then it gives them more of a chance to spread through your collection, and yeah, you go from having bad plants to infecting good plants, and it's a really shame to be losing plants that are otherwise perfectly healthy, growing really well, and then they start going downhill and you don't understand why. And if the virus is the cause of that, then yeah, it's just a shame. So the other lesson then, or food for thought, is how to keep viruses out of the collection. So assuming that I can get my collection virus free. So yeah, one way to do that would be to simply destroy every single plant and start again and just say, well, let's just start again. I don't want to do that. I don't think it would be economically advantageous to do so. So I'm not going to do that. But assuming that I can eliminate viruses from my collection, then there's still the problem of new plants coming into the collection. So I think, I know what some people do is they literally virus test every single plant that comes into their collection before they add it to their collection. So that's something that I will consider, have to think about that. I mean, this is an expensive process. We're talking €6 a plant. Maybe I could get it down to €5 if I buy in bulk or something like that. But yeah, it's not cheap. So, but it is worth it. If you want to have a large collection, I think it's worth it, and definitely food for thought for other people out there. If you've got especially a larger collection, your plants are getting maybe crowded, touching each other, things like that. If you start seeing nasty things on the leaves, on the bulbs, pitting, dark blotches, funny patterns. There's so many different symptoms, and none of them is really 100% guaranteed to indicate it, but I'd rather be on the safe side. Looking back, I probably should have done this already a couple of years ago before I built the collection up, but it's just really fun buying plants and adding them and not worrying about it too much, or maybe turning a blind eye, looking the other way, just hoping for the best. But yeah, so the lesson now is that that's not sustainable in the long run. So I just have to, I think I have to factor in that it's just going to cost more per plant to add to the collection, and just have less plants if necessary. Yeah, so that's my thoughts about the process. Probably I'll have other things maybe to add on later, maybe in subsequent videos, if you're interested. But yeah, that's my thoughts for now, and I think I'll just wrap it up. Thanks for watching.